From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, a Hutchinson High School instructor and tutor is in jail accused of sexually abusing a 15-year-old student.
34-year-old Claude Folks is charged with 7 counts of sexual abuse of a minor in the first degree. According to charging documents, Folks abused the male student on multiple occasions at the school. After the abuse would occur, the victim stated that Folks would give him Amazon gift cards, which Folks later claimed were for, quote, good grades. Folks also had held teacher's aide positions at the Tanana Middle School. He was arrested yesterday by Alaska State Troopers. He's being held at Fbx Correctional Center without bail.
Given the nature of the charges that have been placed, then I'm to hold you without bail unless I hear something extraordinary, which I haven't heard in this hearing. If you want my bail order reviewed, if you do get a public defender, tell them that you want a bail review application filed. They will know the paperwork they need to file to do that.
Probation has been revoked for a Fairbanks man accused of videotaping an 11-year-old girl undressing and showering last year. 22-year-old Andrew Bunton was arraigned today in Fairbanks District Court and placed in jail on a no-bail status. He was charged with 2 counts of indecent viewing and photography, a felony offense that carries a maximum 5 years in jail on each charge. According to troopers, Bunton used an iPod Touch to record the girl last May. The girl discovered the video the next day while playing with Bunton's iPod.
A Fairbanks woman charged with driving the getaway car in an armed robbery earlier this month pleaded not guilty to felony charges today in Superior Court. 19-year-old Tanisha Emery is charged with first-degree felony and second-degree theft. Authorities say she drove the getaway car for 3 teens who reportedly robbed the Farmers Loop sourdough fuel station. According to court documents, 2 of the teens used semi-automatic pistols to force employees to the ground while they collected nearly $1,300 in cash, some checks, and 2 bottles of alcohol. They released Emery at that time, but later filed charges. She's currently out on bail. Trial in her case is set to begin May 19th.
A Fairbanks man pled not guilty today after being charged with felony assault. According to court documents, 30-year-old Chad Wolford is accused of choking his wife with a belt around her neck until she nearly passed out. His wife told troopers that she and Wolford were arguing prior to the assault, and the situation escalated when he smashed the TV screen at the home. She told authorities that the only reason Wolford stopped choking her with the belt was because their 3-year-old entered the room, distracting him enough for her to get away. Trial in his case is set for May 27th.
The Alaska House has passed legislation that would repeal the high school graduation exam. The vote was 32-5. The measure now goes to the Senate. The high school exit exam tests students' aptitude in reading, English, and mathematics. House Bill 220, sponsored by Republican Pete Higgins of Fairbanks, terminates the exam as soon as the bill becomes law. It allows former students who earned enough high school credits to graduate to obtain their diploma even though they failed the exam. Higgins says if the bill does become law, it will save the state $2.7 million in administrative costs. The bill includes an outreach effort to former students who may request a high school diploma from their school.
Multiple disaster exercises have been scheduled across the state as part of Alaska Shield 2014. The main theme will be an exercise for responders to deal with the catastrophic earthquake and tsunami in cold weather. Simulated disaster situations will be staged in Fairbanks, Anchorage, the Matsu Borough, Cordova, and Valdez. They will include everything from fires to building collapses. Numerous public safety, military, and medical units will take part in the events, which are scheduled to run for several days.
And the Alaska Shield 2014 will use the geology of 1964, that earthquake and how much power it released, but it's in today's environment, today's communications, today's logistics, today's population and demographics. And I believe that this is the largest, most complex exercise we have ever undertaken in Alaska, and one of the most complex exercises ever attempted in the nation.
All right, when we come back, time is ticking to get signed up for health care. That's our health report.
And air quality is yet again the topic of conversation in the interior. We'll have the details. Those stories are next. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. This year, the Fairbanks North Pole areas have seen a massive increase in air quality alerts. Although the EPA recognizes that the interior is prone to inversions, air quality standards are causing much concern for the federal agency. An official from the Department of Environmental Conservation, in particular the director for the Air Quality Division, told an audience of business leaders that Fairbanks and the surrounding area was in danger of becoming more regulated if levels do not begin to lower when it comes to emissions. The borough has developed a plan for reducing emissions, but according to DEC, it doesn't go far enough.
Fairbanks has been placed initially in the moderate category, which under those requirements, we would have to have a plan in here by the end of the year, and we would need to demonstrate attainment by the end of 2015. Then, if we fail to actually come into attainment by the end of 2015, then under the Clean Air Act would bump us up to the serious category, and we would have to demonstrate that we would attain the health standard by the end of 2019.
With the snow melting, the outdoors may look safe for burning brush, but according to Alaska Forestry, late winter and early spring can have hidden dangers. Starting April 1st, residents will need burn permits for all open burning, which includes non-compliant barrels. With the permit, people can burn piles up to 10 square feet or lawns up to 1 acre. Larger sites must be inspected by officials first. An officer with forestry says fires can smolder under snow, and it's important to make sure your burns are dead out.
As Alaskans commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Exxon Valdez oil spill, the man who is in charge of the ship speaks out. Joseph Hazelwood was the captain of the Exxon Valdez tanker when it ran aground in Bligh Reef in Prince William Sound March 27th of 1989. The rocks tore open 8 of the ship's 11 cargo holds, spilling nearly 11 million gallons of North Slope crude oil into the waters of Prince William Sound. According to the Exxon Valdez Oil Spill Trustee Council, the carcasses of 35,000 birds and 1,000 otters were recovered, but biologists say the full death toll isn't known since it's believed most of the remains of dead wildlife sank to the bottom.
All right, well, there's not much time left for Alaskans to get signed up for the federal program. We have more now in today's health report.
Several thousand Alaskans have enrolled in healthcare through the federal marketplace since it opened October 1st, but that number still falls short of where U.S. Department of Health and Human Services officials hope to be by now. Individuals without insurance who don't enroll by March 31st will have to pay $95 or 1% of their income. This self-employed woman is enrolling to avoid that penalty.
$95 okay, but then if it goes to 1%, who knows?
The process hasn't been without bumps in the road. This is her second attempt to sign up.
It seemed like it was pretty easy except for when it said, okay, are you at the point now that you can enroll? Not knowing a dollar amount, I don't want to hit yes, and then it's $800 a month.
You can sign up through the State Health Exchange website or call the hotline. The most recent numbers show the state has signed up more than 6,600 people. March 31st is the final day to enroll to be able to get coverage this year.
If you're not enrolled by March 31st, you won't be able to enroll until November 15th, and that will be for coverage starting January 1st of 2015.
Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
Well, all right, Joe is recharging after a hard week of covering basketball, but we still have sports for you tonight.
A recap of Arctic Winter Games and a complete wrap-up of results and awards from the state basketball tournament, including a classic title game. Sports is next.
Well, hello, sports fans. Scoop Clark here with Sports Tonight. Joe Cook has the evening off. Let's get started. Well, all last week, the interior was just flooding with great athletes from across the world for the Arctic Winter Games. The last time AWG was in Fairbanks was in 1988. I was still in high school. Over 2,000 athletes from 9 different contingents of the Circumpolar North competed in 20 different sports and various events. At the end, Alaska was dominant with 190 total Ulus. Alaska earned the most gold Ulus with 67. They also got the most bronze Ulus with 68. Yamal, the Russian team, was second with 134 total Ulus. The Russians led in silver Ulus with 58. Alberta North was the third highest in the Ulu count with 125. Alaska swept ice hockey with golds in bantam male, midgets, and junior female hockey. The girls' ball team also won gold. Now, some of the more decorated Alaskan athletes were from the Arctic or native sports. Madeline Coe of West Valley and coached by Erica Meikle won 3 golds and silver and was named all-around junior female. Andrew Christopher won 3 golds for the Alaska men, and Grace Lee, a figure skater from North Pole, won 3 golds and a silver. Congrats to all the athletes on a great week of competition. Other state champions were crowned in high school basketball over the weekend, and there were some nail-biters. In the 3A girls title game, the ACS Lions took on the Mount Edgecombe Braves. The Braves made a comeback in the 4th quarter, getting within 2 points. The Braves couldn't hit free throws in the final minute, but Dallas Dickerson and the Lions did. She had 22 points and was 11 for 15 from the stripe. The Lions win the 3A girls title 49-45 over Mount Edgecombe. It's their first title since 2009. In the 4A girls, the Kodiak Bears finished a perfect year, 25-0. They beat Colony 64-41 in the championship. Kodiak had 8 seniors, featuring Jerica Nelson, Carissa Cannon, and Hannah Wandersee. Head coach Amy Fogel became the first 4A coach in Alaska history to lead a boys and girls team to state titles. The teams both had perfect records. Now, the 4A Boys Championship was nothing short of a classic. The Service Cougars were in their 3rd straight 4A final and were considered the underdog this year against the West Eagles. Both teams went blow for blow and shot for shot down the stretch. Deandra Wilson, who had a game-high 13 points, tied the game for West at 47, all with a floater with 13 seconds left. But Bradley Wacker of Service would make the play of the game. Off the inbounds play, he goes baseline and gets the tough go-ahead bucket to go in. West has a chance to tie or win with 6 seconds left. Wilson has the ball for West for last shot. It looks good on the release, but it's short. 3rd time's the charm for Service, who win 49-47 over West. It's the Cougars' first state title since 1991, ending a 23-year drought after coming up short the last 2 seasons.
I just saw a wide open lane, and I just took it, and then I laid it up, and that was it.
Oh, man, it's just unbelievable, man. You know, this is my 3rd time here. You know, 3rd time's a charm. And, you know, I believe this team could make it from the beginning to the end, man. All of our hard work paid off on that scoreboard. I'm so glad, you know, we got the win.
And we finish high school basketball from over the weekend with the All-State Tournament teams. Monroe's Jalon McCullough, Tyler Wells, and Scooter Bynum were named to the 3A All-State Tournament team. In 4A, Ruthie Hebard was named All-State Tourney for 2nd straight year, this time for the 3rd place West Valley Wolfpack. Also for West Valley, Trayvon Brackett and Danielle Hornbuckle were selected to the All-State Tournament team for the Wolfpack, who finished in 4th place. Lathrop's Kyle Carlson was also an All-State Tournament pick. And more accolades for Monroe's Super Seniors. Scooter Bynum was named Alaska Gatorade Player of the Year right before the state tournament. He's the first Ram to do it. In his senior season, Bynum, who was also named 3A Player of the Year, averaged 14.3 points, 6.4 bounds, 2.4 steals, and 2 assists per game, leading an undefeated Rams team to a 28-0 record and a 3rd consecutive state championship. Now, the Rams have also won 48 straight games dating back to last season. The Interior swept the Gatorade Awards as West Valley's Ruthie Hebard was named Alaska Gatorade Player of the Year. After winning the state title, Bynum caught a red-eye to Phoenix to play his real sport, baseball, for the Alaska Baseball Academy in an exhibition showcase in front of several minor league, pro, and college scouts. Bynum went 3-4 with a double and a walk, all in a 24-hour period. Bynum talked about the winning Alaska Gatorade Player of the Year after the title game.
It feels like I worked my butt off to get it, man, and I give everything to my teammates. They're so good that I happen to clean up their mess sometimes, and they help me out. They give me passes all the time. We're just so unselfish in that any of us could have won Player of the Year. I believe it makes me more hungry. It shows me that hard work pays off, and so I'm happy and I'm grateful.
And that'll do for the sports tonight. More KTVF Sports. Go to YouTube, Twitter, get your mobile app, and visit webcenter11.com. All right, Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast. We'll catch you next time.
Temperatures, again, very nice, 43 degrees for the high. Unfortunately, because of technical problems, I don't have a picture for you tonight. I'll try and work on getting that back again tomorrow. But we'll start off with our temperatures around the interior and show you what's going on. Pretty consistent, once again, 43 degrees at Fairbanks and Fort Wainwright, a little cooler at Allison Air Force Base. That's obviously not 29 degrees in Delta Junction, I don't think. That may be a computer error, but who knows? Could be 31 degrees around Denali Park and 40 degrees in Nenana. On our temperatures at the airport, 43 degrees our high for the day, and that is our current temperature. The low last night, 18 degrees. Record high, 50 in 1999, 39 below in 1935. Sunrise and sunset, Not quite 13 hours of daylight. We'll go over 13 hours tomorrow. A gain of 6 minutes from yesterday. And the satellite radar, once again, not a whole lot to talk about. A little bit of activity moving across the Gulf of Alaska and across southeast Alaska. That's about it, though. Again, the interior looking really beautiful. Lots of sunshine all the way to Nome and almost to Bethel. And the map today showing that they were going a little bit of cloudiness over southeast Alaska and along the Aleutian chain around the Bethel area, some clouds there too. But other than that, lots of sunshine and temperatures very comfortable. 35 degrees at Fort Yukon, 42 in Anchorage, and of course 43 at Denali Park. Lower 48 weather, a little more shower activity moving across the Pacific Northwest, all the way down the west coast to California. Definitely needed rain there. Elsewhere, we'll be seeing some rain moving across parts of Texas and some lingering snow across the northeastern part of the country. That's all because of this northeaster I was talking about last night, winding up and cranking over the eastern half of the country. New York getting about 1 to 3 inches of snow, Boston maybe 3 to 5, and another storm system moving across the Pacific Northwest. Tomorrow, gusty winds and rain once again all the way down over Southern California. That's good. And as far as the overall jet stream, again, everything moving west to east, helping to transport those storm systems on the Pacific Northwest across the country, and more storms breaking out across the deep south. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Not too bad. Sunny skies across the northern regions for Barrow, Nome, and Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at, once again, sunny skies also. And temperatures very comfortable, 40 degrees for the high in the Fairbanks area. Over southeast Alaska, for the most part, some high winds blowing around the Juneau area, and still a chance of rain for Ketchikan. While over to the southwest, it looks like mixed showers for Cold Bay, sunny skies at Kodiak, and mostly sunny skies for Bethel. And over the south central regions, we have sunny skies for Anchorage and Valdez, and partly cloudy skies for Homer. So all in all, nice weather across all of Alaska. Once again, time for our kids' weather, and this week we're talking with the kids from Northern Lights Academy. And here's a young lady with a very interesting art creation for you.
My weather picture is a birch tree diorama that I did with Dawn Kogan. She does science-based art. Here I have a birch tree and then some snow in the foreground. And in the background I have a mountain, and then on the top I have some northern lights. This took about 3 weeks to accomplish, but I think it's well worth it because I really enjoy looking at it every day when I wake up.
Nice to see creative skills like that. And tomorrow night we'll have a young man here with a very unusual weather question. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. Evening breezes diminishing, clear skies, 1 degree for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast looking at cooler, but still plenty of sunshine and 35 degrees. And the extended forecast, talk about your consistency. A little bit cooler on Thursday, but then temperatures warming back up again to the low to mid 30s each day. And looking at overnight lows, also very, very comfortable with overnight lows right around the single digits above, even a little bit cooler for Thursday night into Friday. And no precipitation in the forecast. So all in all, once again, a really good forecast to pass along.
You know, I was driving today from one of my shoots out in town, and I looked down and my car thermometer said 40 degrees. I actually took off my winter jacket. Isn't that exciting, guys?
It's 43 at the airport, so yeah, it was very different.
I was so happy about that.
It seems like perfect timing this spring because the Arctic Winter Games, of course, were last week, and we needed the snow, we needed those trails in good shape, and they stayed relatively good for the entire week. And now this week is where the real melt is happening around town. So.
The melt.
Yeah, the melt.
Speaking of the Arctic Winter Games, we've got to take our hats off to everybody that was involved with that in any shape, way, or form because it was totally successful and everybody feels good about Fairbanks and they definitely achieved what they wanted to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should ask everybody to share their pin necklaces
collections
on our Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. So go to our Facebook page and give us a photo of all the pins you collected. We'd definitely like to see that and pass along to everybody else. And
that'd be cool to use.
And also, if you aren't wearing a hat, go get one, put it on, so then you can take your hat off to them. So that works. Very good.
Very good.
But a little chillier by the end of the week, you said?
Possibly.
Yeah.
But nothing really. We're still looking at mid-30s, so it's still going to be nice. It's going to continue to melt. And boy, I'm even seeing the middle strips of the airport way just about void of snow.
I saw, yep.
Right, absolutely.
Gray or, brown grass.
Yeah.
Well, I've also been seeing those puddles out there too, and underneath can be ice, so please watch yourself, especially in the evening hours.
Yeah.
Very good.
Unless,
okay.
of course, you're like me and just want to drive through them
Yeah.
Just have fun.
There you go. You have your insurance ready. All right, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the desperate search for the missing as the death toll rises from that massive landslide. Stay tuned because that's coming up next with Brian Williams.
And use caution when you're driving through those puddles, because if somebody's around you, you don't want to soak them.
No.
No, not even. That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a good night, and we'll see you back here again later.